Now, why do you need to know about these components? You need to know about these components because you don't want to look like a fool to the examiner when you go for a road test. Hello everyone, this is Amit Dasturi from Toronto Drivers, and if you are a new driver, then this video is for you, because in this video I'm going to show you some important components of a car. Now, why do you need to know about these components? You need to know about these components because you don't want to look like a fool to the examiner when you go for a road test. Hey, what if the examiner tells you to turn on the AC or the wiper and you don't know how to do it? So that is why it's important to know your car well when you go for the road test. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the components. So I'm going to start with this thing, which is where you insert the key. That's the first thing you do when you sit in the car, and this is located behind the wheel. It is here, and there's different positions on this. It says lock, ACC means accessories, and then there's on and then start. And you also see push written here, and I'll explain it to you in a bit what push means and actually what all of these things mean. So lock means it's obviously locked, and you know, where you turn off the key, you turn the key towards you to lock it, and you turn the key away from you to turn on the car. Now let's see what ACC means. Accessories means, you know, if you want the car to be turned off, but at the same time you want the radio to be on, you know, then in that case you can just have it in the ACC mode and still play the radio. And in the on position is when you're, you know, when the lights come on, you can see this. And in order to start the car, what you have to do is you have to twist it gently. You know, you press a brake and you twist it gently towards start and you let go of it. And it will come back to the on position. It's not going to remain in the start position, but the car will start running. So anytime you want to turn the car on, you have to twist the key towards the start position and release it to start the car. Now let me show you what push means. Now when you turn off the car and you want to take the key out, you want the key to be in the lock position. So let's try to move it there. Whoa. Why would it not move? Now, it won't move because you're not pushing the key. So what you want to do is you want to push the key this way and then twist it. This is how you move it to the lock position. So look at this. Now, this thing can be pushed inside and twisted this way. If you try to twist it without pushing it, you won't be able to twist it. So that is what push means. So you push it here and you get the key out. That's the way it works. Now let me show you these regulators and switches here. Now this particular thing is for directing the air through the vent. Whatever direction you want the air to go in, this is where you control from. And this is to control the speed of the fan, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one, of course, it says AC, so this is what it is for. Now let's start with this one. Now this position, if you look at this right now, this white thing is pointing towards this thing, and this sign means the windshield. So it is now all the air is going towards the windshield. This is what you can use when your windshield gets foggy. You can direct the air towards the windshield to remove the fog from your front windshield. That's not for the rear windshield. I'll talk about the rear one also, but this is only for the front windshield. Front windshield is actually a little curvy. You would see this thing angled, so that is what front windshield means. This thing means the rear windshield. So when it is rectangular, it means rear windshield. So these arrows mean the windshield. Now this thing here is you see there's two things. One is pointing towards the feet, and the other one is pointing towards the windshield. So that means when you put it here, when you twist it here, it goes towards the windshield and towards your feet. Well, you know, when you don't want direct air on your face, you can direct it towards the windshield and towards your feet. Now this one is only for your feet. You know, in summer when your feet are sweaty, you want the air to go towards your feet. That's what you do. And this is for both your feet and your face. It will come to your face You see the arrows pointing here, this here, and this one is only for your face, right? So all the air coming towards your face. Now, this thing is, you see the fan sign here. It means you control the speed of the fan. This is right now at 0, and then you twist it like this, and it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4. I usually put it at 2. 2 is good. You know, you don't want a lot of air blowing through the vents. 1, it gets noisy, and 2, it takes a lot of load on the battery. And now the next thing is the AC, and to turn the AC on, you'll need to push the button and put it in this mode. So blue means cold air and red means hot air. This is what you would use during winters, and this is what you use in summer. And if you don't want too much heat or cold air coming from the vents, you can put it in the neutral mode, which is the white zone here. Now, I forgot to tell you about the rear windshield, how you can remove the fog from the rear windshield. So for the rear windshield, all you need to do is just press the button, the light comes on. That means it's gonna start heating the rear windshield and remove the fog from it. It helps when there's snow on your windshield, and you know, you're driving, it's snowing, and the snow continuously falls and collects on your windshield. You want to get rid of that snow, so this is what you do. You press this and get rid of the snow. And another thing I forgot to tell you about is this thing. So this arrow means you want the inside air to stay inside, so this is why you will press this button, right? Usually, you know, if you're traveling in a place which is very dusty, there's a lot of dust, so you can turn this on to press this button and have the inside air stay inside, so the outside air will not come into the car. Now, these buttons here are for controlling your window. If you have automatic windows, you would see the buttons like this. And you know, there are 4 buttons to control all the 4 windows in the car. Now, in order to roll them down, you have to press this down like this. You have to push it down, and if you want the window to go up, you have to lift it up like this, right? Now this button here is to lock and unlock the car. So if you want to unlock the car, you want to press it to that side, and if you want to lock the car, you press it on this side. Now this button here is the child lock button. So if you have kids in the car and you don't want them to open the window or close the window, then you press this button and it locks all the 3 windows except for the driver's side window. So the driver still has control on his window. Now, if you have automatic mirrors in your car, then these are the buttons to control the mirror. You would usually find them on your door, or you would find them behind the wheel, just like this. Now, as you see, it says left and right. So this is for the left side mirror, and this is for the right side mirror. Now, if you want, now this is the button to control the direction you want the mirror to go in. So while adjusting, if you want the mirror to go up, then you press this button, and if you want it to go sideways, this is for left and right, and this is for the mirror to go down. Now, talking about the windshield wiper is located either on your left-hand side or on your right-hand side. In my car, it is located on the right-hand side, which is here. Now, in order to turn this on, I have to bring it down like this. This is how it goes. It depends on your car. Sometimes, you know, in some cars, you have to move it up. In some cars, you have to move it down to turn it on. Now, this thing here is for the signal. To put the left signal on, you put it down, and for the right signal, you put it up like this. Now, I've had some people ask me, Harminder, how do we remember down is for left and up is for right? Well, the best solution I was able to come up with was, you know, uptight rhymes with upright. So up is for right, and if you remember up is for right, then obviously down is for left. Now, another important thing I wanted to show you was how to turn your flashers on. So for the flashers, you'll always see this triangular sign, 2 triangles on a button. So that is the button to turn the flashers on. So when you press this, this is what would happen. All the signals will come on. So this is a handbrake. You find it between the 2 seats, and closer to the gear, and this is in the position where it's not been applied. In order to apply it, you just hold it and you pull it up like this. Now, in order to release the handbrake, what a lot of people do is they press the button first. Did you hear the sound? You see? Now, this is wrong because this can damage the spring inside this button. So that is why you want to first pull it this way and then press it gently so that you don't hear the sound, and then release it. So that's the way you should use the handbrake. So you pull it up without the button and you pull it again slightly, push the button, and then release it gently. So let me tell you a story about the person who failed the road test because he didn't know the car well. So this person met me at the drive test center and requested to borrow my car. The car he had gotten had a broken light, and he learned that they will not let him use that car. So he was asking people around to borrow the car. He came to me and I let him use the car. His test was in the next 5 minutes. So we didn't have the time to go over all the components of the car. I let him use the car. After 30 minutes of the test, when he came back, he had a sad face. He said, I failed the test because I didn't know the car well. So what had happened was that it was raining. He had to roll the windows up and he didn't know how to turn on the AC. Because he didn't know how to turn on the AC, it got foggy inside, and then the next thing he didn't know was how to remove the fog from the rear window, and that led to unsafe driving conditions. So the examiner did not feel safe to drive with him, and the examiner also did not tell the guy where these switches were so that he could turn on the AC and get rid of the fog. So the examiner sometimes would expect you to know all the components well. That's also the thing that they judge you on. So that is why it's important for you to go over all the components of the car, or the main components of the car, before you do the test. So if you're using a new car for the road test, then make sure you take 5 to 10 minutes out to learn about these important switches and other components so that you don't fail the test. Once again, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then make sure you hit the like button and share it with someone who needs it. And if there is anything that I did not cover in this video, make sure you leave a comment in the comment box so that I can make a part 2 of this video. Thank you very much for being a lovely audience, and I'll see you again next Friday.